Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2020 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
Bucks County, Pennsylvania is an ideal destination for a holiday getaway. Travel responsibly during the most festive time of the year and stay in the area's gorgeous lodging properties. Celebrate the holidays with a scenic drive through the covered bridges, a visit to castles, holiday light shows, and outdoor festive fun. Eat, drink, shop local, and be merry while visiting main streets scattered throughout the countryside. Go to visitbuckscounty.com to start planning.
What's going on? You tune in to the Cigars with Mac podcast. Of course, I am your host, Cigars with Mac, or Big Mac, whatever you want to call me, it don't matter. Anyway, man, I'm happy to be doing a podcast today. I was a little busy with school and things like that, so that's why I couldn't podcast the other day. I'm gonna have to start, I normally go on Facebook and make a post and say, hey, I'm gonna talk about this tonight, and whenever I do that, I find that I don't even talk about it. I end up going to sleep, I gotta stop doing that. Anyway, right now I'm smoking a LFD Digger. This is about a 2-hour smoke, so I mean I'm probably gonna be on here for a while. Anyway, got a lot of stuff going on right now, man. Today I want to speak on a lot of things, man, but the title of my post is, the title of this podcast is, what does it mean to be black? Pretty sure y'all saw the interview with Joe Biden on the Breakfast Club and him saying, if you don't vote for him, you're not black and all that bullshit. I get so tired of that bullshit, man. People be saying shit like that, man. It's kind of disrespectful, to be honest with you. I was going to play the interview for y'all, but nah, I don't even feel like it right now. He ain't even worth it, to be honest with you. Tell you, man, politics it's a touchy thing, man. It's a real touchy thing. It's a real touchy subject. But nevertheless, we got to deal with it. I try to stay away from it on my social media. I remember back in the day, man, I used to really be heavy into politics. I was, I was about politics, man. And I was a card-carrying libertarian, and I was a card-carrying Republican. You know. So that show you how serious I was about it, man. I was the real deal with it. I was the real deal with it, man. And anyway, as I've grown older, I still have my political views, but I don't really voice them as much because I've actually lost friends behind politics because of different views. People get mad because you believe differently than they do. You know, people say, they want you to be different and have freedom of speech, but they really don't mean that. They only mean that freedom of speech shit until you offend them. So that's why now when it comes to my social media, I try to stay out of politics and things like that, man. Pretty sure y'all all heard about the brother in Minnesota that got choked to death, by a cop, man. I saw the video, man. Rest in peace to that cat. I don't really know what happened. And, I saw the video like everyone else. I don't know if he was, trying to commit fraud or not. I don't know that. But I know he didn't have to die like that, man. But motherfuckers talking about you're not black enough. Wow. And I understand all black people are not getting killed by cops. I get that. But I think it's just sad that we live in a society where people, do sick shit like that, man. And I don't know what that brother did to be in that predicament, to be in that situation. And I really don't, at this point, I really don't care. I really don't. I just know that he didn't have to die like that. And nobody knows what happened. People are merely speculating. And I'm going to tell you something about speculating, man. When you speculate as if it's facts or truth, you got to be real careful with that. You can fuck some shit up doing that, man. Nothing wrong with speculating, but don't come out and act like it's accurate information when you really don't know. It's one thing that something is your opinion. Say that. In my opinion, such and such. I just think it's sad, man, that, and of course, man, the media has their play in certain things, but this video, man, was just visible. I mean, you look at what you're seeing, you know what you're seeing. I mean, you can't tell me that what happened was unjust. Because it was. I don't support bullshit like that. My thing is, why didn't anyone stop it? That's what was troubling to me, man. One of the reasons why I've always been a contrarian of some sort. One of the reasons why I've always been a person that didn't mind being different was because I didn't mind standing up for people. Especially if something's wrong, man. If something's just fucked up, man, it's just fucked up. I don't know what else you're gonna call it. You know, and those police officers, man, just sat there, man. But we gotta definitely see how this gonna unfold, man. We gotta see that. You know, we don't nobody make no sudden moves. Just sit back and let it all unfold. I'm a firm believer in that, man. When things happen, tragedies, just sit back and before you start getting outraged, just see how the shit unfold. It'll blow your mind sometime, man. It'll blow your mind sometimes. But what does it mean to be black, man? That's the topic today. You know, black people in America, man, we've been through a lot as a people, man. My ancestors, you know. You know, we have our own culture, man, straight up. I love being a black man. Of course, I had no choice in that. That's how I was born. Let's get that out the way. You know, people trip me out with that shit, man. What does it mean to be black? You're not black enough and bullshit like that, man. Being black in America, man, is first and foremost, we're Americans, man. Like anybody else. This goes back to culture, like I was speaking of the other day, the other podcasts. We have our own culture. Even blacks that are wealthy, we all share similarities, man. I'm telling you. We all share similarities. Trust me. You know, I love my people. And to say what does it mean to be black really is a I mean, that's a broad statement. Number one, it's kind of ignorant, but I'm gonna entertain it for a little bit. I'm gonna entertain that. You know, being black, man, I sit back and think about the slaves in America, the black slaves, because there were other races that were enslaved prior to blacks. But we're going to talk about blacks today. You know, we think, you know, when we watch these fucking slave movies and shit, all you see is black people getting their ass kicked, bowing down to a master and shit like that. But anybody with common sense know everybody wasn't sitting down getting their ass kicked. There's no way that's not even possible. Why? Because everybody does not think the same. Some people were not okay being slaves. And in my opinion, being black is more than slavery. And I'm talking about American blacks. I'm not talking about anybody else right now. I don't know anything about anybody else. I know about their history, but I can only speak on my people in America. I think they're people. I think some of the most patriotic people in American history were black people. You know, but all the media will show you is, you know, black people speaking negatively about America. That's not necessarily true, but that's what the media wants people to think. I notice a lot of time when I'm out and about, man, and I meet other veterans. Sometimes I run across black veterans and they're not as proud of their service as other Americans are. I used to be like that. You know, I was angry when I got out the military. I felt like I was done wrong. I felt like, man, what I joined the military for, I really didn't get. You know, I joined the military to travel. You know, I understood that war came with it, but I spent more time in war. That's a fact. So that's why I saw no need to make a career out of the military, because all I saw was war. You know? But one day, after I got out the military, I sat around, man, and thought about all the shit I accomplished in the Army, man, and I was like, man, I got something to be proud of. I served my country. I used to say this country. Now I say my country, because it is my country. I fought for it. I went to war for it. So I got stake. I have stake in the game. I have a vested interest in America. I have sweat equity in this country. You know? You know, it's one thing to say my ancestors had sweat equity. But then it's another thing to say that I personally have sweat equity in this country. Some of the best men I served with were fellow black men. Some of the most patriotic men I've met in the military were black men. Trying to tell you, man. But see, that's one aspect of blacks in America. Let's talk about in business. One of the things a lot of black folks complain about when it comes to black businesses is bad customer service. And I've dealt with it before. I'm not going to lie. But I tell you what, I've also had superb customer service from black folks, black businesses. I interchangeably use the word African American and black. Reason why, because Africa is a continent. It's not a country. So to say African American is kind of an oxymoron. Doesn't make sense to me, but that's the term we use nowadays, so I'm not one to always go against the grain anyway. I used to back in the day, but now I just go with the direction of the river, man. A lot of times it's not good to kick against the grain. There's a time and a place for everything. But I don't make a big fuss about the term. It's just a terminology. I get what people mean by it. I don't agree with it, but for the sake of an argument, I use the terms interchangeably, But anyway, some of the best business owners I've met were Black Americans, man. There's a lady on Instagram who I follow. She's the owner of South Dallas Cafe, and she's also the owner of another upscale restaurant called Vanetti's. And man, this woman has superb business skills, superb customer service, man. She really, really is good in what she does. No, she's great in what she does. I was so glad during the height of the pandemic, this lady, her business still was going. People still supporting. She feeding teachers. She giving back to the community, man. I respect that. And I'm going to visit her business, but she's in Dallas. I'm in Fort Worth. So that's a bit of a drive. And the days when it's really jumping, man, I'm working, I'm working. But I'm gonna stop by there on my day off one day. Because I really want to support her business. Because I like her business model, man. She from my observation, she does excellence. And that's what it's about, man. All black businesses ain't fucked up, man. And I'm going to tell you something. Blacks have to support blacks. We have to. Because when it comes down to politics, it's all about money, man. That's what it's about. If you don't know that, I'm telling you, it's about money. And you have to support your interests financially. That's just what it is. That's how America works. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's what you got to do. But that's a couple of aspects, military, black businesses, blacks in corporate America. Some of the most professional people I've met in corporate America were black folks. If anybody knows the history of George Washington Carver, he is the reason why Ford was more profitable, because he told them to do mass production instead of doing one car at a time. Create an assembly line, mass production. That was George Washington Carver's idea, people. Black man. He was ahead of his time. We as a people have done so much for this country, for our country. It's our country too. I'm telling you, man, we are amazing people. every race has degenerates, but at the end of the day, we're all Americans. And think about racism, man. Racism isn't going anywhere. But you know how I deal with racism? I don't let it bother me. Because I understand that it exists. I understand that people that are racist are just ignorant. It doesn't bother me. Because I understand as a black man that there will be challenges faced. And I have faced them. Oh, I faced a lot of them. But what I do is I keep fighting. I keep kicking ass. I don't quit. And that's how you got to be. You got to keep fighting. And that's the thing about, that's life, man. Not just black people, anybody. If it's something you want in life, man, you got to fight for it. Nobody gonna just give you anything. It's not how life works. Nobody gonna just hand you something. Especially when you're black in America, man. And that's why on this podcast, I talk about a little bit of everything. I don't mind talking about race because, I mean, it's a big issue, but I just don't harp on it because at the end of the day, once you get done talking about race, and once you get done talking about racism, and once you get done talking about not succeeding in life because you think you're black, you can't succeed in life, my next question is, what are you going to do about it? So there's nothing wrong with discussing things like race, politics. But after the discussion, what is your plan of action? Like with the brother in Minnesota, Minneapolis. What is the plan of action now? That's the question. Yeah, you can riot, do all that shit, but once you get done doing all that, what's your plan of action? That's the question. What's the plan of action? And that's one thing I try to do is give people and talk about a plan of action. Because people have a right to discuss issues. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good to discuss what's going on. But everything, you must have an action plan. I read a book about the first black millionaires in America after slavery. And the majority of these millionaires that I read about, black millionaires, were actually slaves. And then they became successful. And when I read that book, I said, man, there's no excuse for me. There's no excuse. No excuse for me. those that came before me paved the way for me. Is it gonna always be easy? No. No, it's not. But I must work hard. I must keep fighting. I must constantly try to improve myself every single day. And that's the mentality you have to have. People say shit like, you're not black enough. Exactly what does that mean? All black people don't sit around and talk Ebonics. All black people don't sit around with their pants hanging off their ass, having multiple children out of wedlock. No. I got a little cousin. She's an architect. Very successful young lady. Beautiful young lady. She's not sitting around having fucking kids. She's busting her ass. She has her master's degree. She's an architect, people. Telling you. So when I hear ignorant shit like what Joe Biden said, it's laughable, man. All black people are not Democrats. They're not. No, sir. All black people are not in jail. Nope. You know, so to say you're not black, it doesn't make sense to me. Black people, we are not a monolithic people. Some black people go to church. Some don't. Some black people are Muslims, black Jews, black Israelites. That's on the religious aspect. I mean, you can't just put black people in a box. It just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. Like you can't put all white people in a box. You can't put all Asians in a box. Can't do that. You know? Can't do that. I remember years ago, a brother I met, he was under the presumption that black people just got into politics when Barack Obama got in office, and that couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. He believed black people started smoking cigars and enjoying nice shit 10, 15 years ago. Man, black people been doing that. I used to tell that brother, man, you got to expand your mind, dude. I knew a black man that spoke over 3 languages fluently. Very intelligent man. Hell, I'd love to learn a foreign language. I really would. So you can't put black people in a box. It's a restaurant in Fort Worth. One of the most iconic restaurants out here by the name of Taste Buds. It's a black-owned restaurant. Soul food, organic soul food, comfort food, very healthy food they serve there. A lot of their customers are white people. That place has some of the best customer service I've ever had in my life. I love going there. I haven't been there in a couple years. I need to go visit it. But I really want to discuss this issue, man. I don't want to harper too much on that because I could really dig deep, but I think my point is made. You can't put black people in a box. Can't do that. That's not right. This will conclude the podcast for today. Have a good one.
Leverage the power of extraordinary with Sterling's Power Business Banking Checking. Offering tiered relationship rewards, it's part of a suite of solutions delivered by your own experienced relationship manager that can help you manage cash flow and improve operating efficiencies so you can focus on strengthening your business. See for yourself. Call 855-550-0041 or visit snb.com/offers today. Sterling National Bank. Expect extraordinary. Member FDIC. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2020 Nielsen Report limitations apply.